Hi everybody, it's Julie the Whippy Chick here, and today we are going to look at another new crochet app. Well, it's new to me anyway, I haven't seen it before. This is called LoveCrafts Crochet, and it is an app that has a lot of free patterns and some paid patterns and some tools on how to make these patterns. Well, not so much how to make them, but that will help you make these things easier. There's a lot of tools. So we're just going to open it up and jump in. So when I open it up, it automatically goes to the free patterns section. And initially I thought that's all this app had was some free patterns. And there's, some nice patterns, but honestly, there's not that many when you first open it up. I was surprised to see that there are actually thousands of patterns available. I just didn't see them at first. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but first I want to just kind of go through the tools that are available to you on this app. So like I said, you start off in the free patterns section. You also have a section called My Library. So when you open that up, you can see all of the patterns that I have added to my app. Now, some of these, like Amelia the Giraffe here, and let's see, the colorful mini dinos, and this Bagriel Snuggie, those are all ones that I got right from this app and from its affiliate website. The other patterns that I have, I was able to pull in right from my Ravelry account. These are patterns that I have paid for from Ravelry. So I'm able to bring those in and utilize those patterns as well. So that's really cool. There's also a great way to sort your library by clicking on collections. You can add each of your patterns to different collections. So I have a collection here called hats. Not much in it, just this one hat and mitten set, but I love a good cloche hat, so I put that in there. This is my amigurumi section. Super cute, right? And over here I've got a sweaters collection. Now I haven't really built up my collections too much because I've only just downloaded this app and I'm still playing with it and pulling in different patterns. But at any time you can create a new collection and title your collection. And like I've titled these amigurumi and sweaters and hats. But you can give your collection any title. And if you want to add something to a collection, you simply click on the Edit button, and you would click it, and then send it to one of your collections. So I could add this sweet pea top to sweaters. It's not even really a sweater, but I could do that if I wanted to. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Done, and not worry about doing any more with that, but I just wanted to show you how that worked. So we have covered free patterns, my library, and now we're going to come to my projects. So this is pretty cool. I am using this amigurumi pattern for a test, just so you could kind of see what you can do with your patterns when you have them. So I'm actually going to see if I can turn these pages here. There we go. There's different things you can do with these. First of all, you've got this pink bar here. This kind of goes up and down. And that's a really nice way to keep track of where you are in your pattern. Let me just move on here. So let's say you're working on this part and these letters are really tiny, right? It's really kind of hard to read them. But if you have this to underline it, it kind of makes it a little easier for you to read what line you're on. So I really like that feature. Over here you can see I've used the highlighter feature. So we've got our bar here. We can make that disappear or come back. We've got our highlighter. So if we choose to highlight a line, we can do that. It's got 3 colors that you can use to highlight with. You can use this pink, this yellow, or this gray. And let's say we don't want that highlighter on there anymore. We can simply erase things if we want. So we can go ahead and erase things. That's what our eraser is for. And this is really neat too. This little feature here is a note. So if you wanted to say, put a note here because this is a little tricky, you could go ahead and type in your note, tricky. and save that. And then every time you do this pattern, if you see this little note emblem, you just click on that, and that's going to remind you that, oh, this part's tricky. Of course, you don't have to write tricky. You could put whatever you wanted. Another tool we have here is our little friendly sheep up here in the corner. We can open that up and move it down a little bit, and we can start counting, and we can use this as a row counter. So let's say we have done row 1, we can just click on that and we've done row 1. After we do row 2, we click it again, and so on and so forth. Now if this little thing is kind of in your way and you want to move it, you just simply hold on this button and move that around. So that's a really nice feature too. Down here at the bottom we have PDF buttons, so if you wanted to download this and print it out on your computer, you could certainly make it into a PDF and do that as well. Anytime you want to write yourself a little note or doodle or whatever you want to do on here, you can do that, and it's going to save all of this until you take it away. So that's really neat. I started doing these little notes on here last night, and they are still there, or they were still there this morning. So really pretty neat. Last thing you can do is look at some pictures that other people have taken of their final project, and you could also add your own as well. So that's a really nice little feature. If you wanted to keep track of your projects, you could do that. Okay, the last tool we have on the bar is the settings button, and this is where you would import things from Ravelry if you so chose to. If you have a Ravelry account and you want to import your Ravelry patterns, you can do that. It's just going to ask you to sign in. I already have signed in, so I don't need to do that step. I've already downloaded all my patterns, but it really is that simple. This gives you the opportunity to download on cellular. If you uncheck that, it would download when you're not using your cellular data, and just using Wi-Fi, that works too. This says, don't worry, if you delete a pattern here, you can still see it in your library. So if I wanted to delete this and get this off of my phone, I could do that. They also have a section here for frequently asked questions, which I did peruse earlier today. So it's pretty informative. It tells you how you can do things like print out a pattern. This is one that is really important for this particular video, because it's important for you all to know what device does this app work on. It looks like it is only good for iPhone, iPad, and iPad Pro. So it looks like it just is for Apple products, unfortunately, at this time. And that's kind of a bummer, because this really is a great little app. I could see people using it if it was open to Android and Google. But I don't see that it is. It looks like it's just for the Apple products at this time. So there is, like I said, a very nice frequently asked questions section here that you could certainly read through. So I'm going to close that up, and now I'm going to get to the fun part of this app. I'm going to go back to the free patterns, and most crocheters like to look at patterns. We are almost as addicted to our patterns as we are to our yarn. So this section here, they're constantly changing it, I want to say. I've only downloaded this yesterday, so I don't think they've changed it an awful lot yet, but I get the feeling that they're always adding things, because I see these little buttons that say new. Okay, but like I said earlier, there's not a ton of patterns on this page, but I do love these. But if you wanted to find some other patterns, you could just click on this button, tap here to add another pattern, and it's going to direct you right to the LoveCrafts.com website, where they have thousands of patterns. Now, some of them are paid patterns and some of them are free. It looks like I'm logged in automatically to the United Kingdom part of the website, but I'm going to switch that to the United States. Just in case I ever want to do a paid pattern, I want it to be in US dollars. So this is the crochet pattern section, so you could certainly come up here and you can search for a particular pattern. Maybe you just want to look at hats. Maybe you just want to look at blankets or amigurumi. Whatever you want to search for, you can. In fact, earlier today I had searched for Sonic the Hedgehog. So once you click on that and search for it, it will pull up what it finds for that search. And look at that, lo and behold, there is a pattern for Sonic the Hedgehog. So really neat search feature, I was happy with that. When I click back here, I'm going to take a look at some other patterns, just so I can show you how you can pull one of these patterns from the website right to the app. I did it earlier today with the colorful mini dinos, so they are already in my app. I can make that whenever I want, but I love the Yip Yips, so I think that I'm going to go ahead and click on that. When I do, it allows me to see a little bit about the pattern, different pictures of the pattern. I love these guys from Sesame Street. They're so cute. So I can take a look at product details, what I'm going to need, you know, who the designer is, what language it's in, any notes, that sort of thing. But to put it into my app, I need to download it. So I can go ahead and click download now. So that's going to do its job. It's going to download it. And there's the pattern. So cute. I just love these little guys. And I'm going to go back again. Go to my library. And there it is in my pattern library. Look at that. I love it. So now I'm going to go back to the app. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I find to be the trickiest part of using this app / website combination, and that is to get the patterns that you have downloaded from the website onto your app. So after lots of trial and error, I think I've got it figured out. So we just downloaded the Yip Yip pattern. I'm going to go ahead and go to my library now. And in my pattern library, you will see all of my patterns that I have downloaded from the website. And there we can see that my Yip Yip pattern is in there. Okay, so I'm going to go back and click on my library again. And we have my collections and we have favorites. I'm going to go ahead and click on my collections and see if it's in there. And you see it is not in there yet. Okay, so that's kind of a bummer. You see where I'm getting confused with this whole thing. Now I'm going to click on my favorites. Let's see if it's in there. Aha, it is in there. So in order to get this into one of my collections, I click on here, and then it asks me, do I want to put it in this collection, in this collection, in this collection? And I think I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the amigurumi collection. It really isn't amigurumi, but I'm not really sure what to call it. Maybe home decor? I'm not sure. I'm just going to stick with amigurumi for now, just to make it simple, and I'm going to click save. Now, at this point, I can either continue to explore the website, or I can go to my collections, or I can just close out altogether. I'm going to close out altogether, and I'm going to go back to my app and see if it worked. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. Let's take a look and see if my Yip Yips have been saved. Aha, there they are. There's my Yip Yips. They have been saved. So again, I've done this with a few different patterns now, and I find this to be the trickiest thing to do when I'm using this app. Other than that, though, I really do like this app a lot. And if I choose to open this pattern, I love this little guy. He's so cute, this little sheep. Then I get to utilize all of these tools. and I think that's really great, especially when you're looking at all of these fine, teeny tiny letters on the screen. This one has got to be just so helpful, right? It just really makes it so much easier to read. And of course, like I said, once you finish a line, you can always, highlight that you've done it, or you can use your little row counter. Yeah, a lot of these things are just really, really handy, and I really like this app a lot. The only thing that I think they could work on is just making that a little bit more seamless to get the pattern from the website onto the app. Because once it's on the app, you don't need Wi-Fi anymore. You don't need anything. You don't need cellular data or anything like that. It's on the phone. It's downloaded. So I really like that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. And maybe check it out if you've got an Apple product. That's another thing I'd like to change about it. I'd like to see this, available in other formats as well. But overall, thumbs up for me. Okay, everybody, have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.